अब बोल बोल ना। यूट्यूब पे आवाज बढ़ा। रुक रुक। बोल।
हेलो
डन क्लियर मालूम नहीं मेरे को तो मैं जाओ क्या
memento and is happening. Thank you, sir.
Aditya.
Thank you, sir. एयर वाइस मार्शल सूर्यकांत चाफेकर सर अतिविशिष्ट सेवा मेडल शौर्य चक्र retired as senior air and administration staff officer of maintenance command. He was commissioned in transport stream of Indian Air Force and during his military service he has flown more than 7,000 hours on various types of aircraft. Air Vice Marshal Suryakant Safekar sir was born on 27 September 1959 at Nagpur, Maharashtra. The Air Officers alumnus of the Rapid Science College, Nagpur, Air Force Academy, Dundigal, Flying Instructor School, Defence Service Staff College, Wellington, Tamil Nadu, and College of Air Warfare, Secunderabad. He is a qualified flying instructor with over 3,500 instructional hours to his credit. He is an expert in air maintenance with specialization in Himalayan region.
He has executed trial landings on AN-32 aircraft at high altitude advanced landing grounds (ALGs) like Daulat Beg Oldi, world's highest airstrip at elevation of 16,700 feet, Neoma, elevation of 13,500 feet, and Fukche, elevation of 14,300 feet. He has a vast experience in the field of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Under his able leadership, succor was provided to needy during Uttarakhand flood relief, Yemen evacuations, etc. He was forefront in induction of C-17 Globemaster and C-130J Super Hercules aircrafts in Indian Air Force. He commanded a transport squadron at Chandigarh and was Air Officer commanding of Air Force Station Chandigarh, a premier transport base. He was Chief Operational Officer of Agra, the largest base of Indian Air Force. He held various operational appointments at Air Headquarters, a recognition to his operational capabilities.
The air officer was awarded Shaurya Chakra, a gallantry award by President of India in recognition of his professional courage, indefatigable spirit, meticulous planning and execution of trial landing at Daulat Beg Oldi, an airstrip of immense strategic and importance close to China border, and was awarded a T. Vishishta Seva Medal for distinguished devotion to the duty. Also, Sir contributed immensely in Kargil operations. Post-retirement, Sir is actively involved in training the youth for service selection board interviews free of cost. He conducts training programs on personality development, leadership, and is a motivator. He is a defense analyst and regularly his articles are published in magazines and newspapers. He has a YouTube channel, Shankhanad, for social awareness. His memoir, Shades of Blue, was published in November 2021. His memoir, in Marathi, Niraicha Chhata, was awarded the Best Memoir of the Year 2021 by Maharashtra Sahitya Parishad Pune and Vidarbha Sahitya Sangha. We have his memoir available outside the auditorium. Now I kindly request Air Vice Marshal Suryakant Safekar sir to guide us.
Be like. If it is separate, then you can switch off. Good afternoon to all of you. Now, just I would like to thank Dr. Borkar, the principal of the institution, and Dr. Rao to invite me here because I love speaking to you. I do it out of sheer pleasure. Nothing, after retirement, I'm doing nothing else but this. So when you see something written like this, pushing horizons, this is an apt thing for you people. You need to always endeavor to push horizons. And how do you do? You can't go physically and push a horizon. That pushing horizon means you need to work harder, get things done your way, and that can happen only if you get motivated. And self motivation is the best part of life. Let me tell you. Now, why I am standing here, the important and the very important aspect is, when you read about very great personalities like Savarkar, Ambedkar, P.R., you feel yes, they were phenomenally good and you should be somewhere like that. But then what happens? They are too great a personalities, so you give up midway. You say, no, I won't be able to reach. That is why I am standing here. Exactly 40-45 years back, I was sitting that side and somebody else was lecturing from here. So to start with, I want to tell you that what I have done, which you will see, is possible to be done by each one of you who is sitting here, inclusive of girls. Okay? The girls' story I won't be able to narrate today separately, but I am telling you very clearly, there is nothing much of a difference between a girl and a boy, because when Indian Air Force decided to make women pilots, the first girl was my pupil in Air Force Station in Lanka. She today is flying a civil airline. So on that note, I like to start that I am nothing very out of the blue or very different person, because all my things were read out, Shaurya Chakra and all. But when I was sitting at the side where you are sitting, I never thought I will achieve this in life. So I am standing here today to tell you how you can reach this position from a very middle class family, basic education, not very intelligent. And I am standing in an engineering college, so definitely your percentages and all that will be phenomenal than me, right? Only that doesn't help is what I am standing here to tell. You are millennium boys and girls. You have a lot of classes. Okay? You are multitasking people. Walk, you talk, you text. You can understand everything. You are good in IT. However, what is lacking is the channelized manner in which you have to move ahead. And that is what I am going to try and do it today. There is nothing which is impossible if you decide to do. And that is what is all about, pushing horizons. So why Himalayan adventure? Because hardly any one of you would have gone that side, I'm sure. And that place is the ultimate place in the world. We keep running towards US, Australia, New Zealand. But let me tell you, because I am Indian, I could land at the highest airfield in the world. Why? Because that highest airfield is in India. There is no other airfield in the world which is higher than the airfield which I have landed, which is at 16,700 feet, mind you. Okay? So start thinking of what you can do here. And with the present Atmanirbhar and other things are showing good signs, and definitely things are going to help you much, much better. Now I come to the next point. Millennium have got an issue. Millennium boys and girls have got an issue. They want everything instant. Instant success, instant coffees, instant pizzas, everything instant. But here I am standing to tell you, it's not that easy to get. Success doesn't come instantly. And my story will make you a impression on you and tell you when you leave this hall that yes, it doesn't work that way. But the thing which you have to remember is success is not a final. There will be always steps. From one success to other success, you will keep moving on. But what is most important for you to believe and learn, the second, failure is never fatal. You'll find in my life when I was going upward, there was one pretty downward trend. I got out of it because as we move on, we'll know why. So failure is never fatal. Don't get bogged down with failure. Please remember that. So what is the courage? Courage to move on, courage to fight, courage to try, courage to work. That will make you successful. And that is what counts. Said Winston Churchill, but I am repeating that quote because the story of mine is all this, nothing else. This is the Russian aircraft AN-32. I am introducing it to you because all my activities have been done on this aircraft. It is a twin-engine turboprop, carries around 45 passengers, and it's a wonderful machine. You know, in India we have a problem. If you go to north, you have mighty Himalayas. If you go to south, you have island territories, coastal region. If you go to west, you have deserts. And if you go to east, you have hills but smaller ones. So in short, we require something, a machine which can work from -50 to +50. And only you engineers maintain it so nicely that pilots like me can do something what I have done. So the story is of engineers along with the pilots and as a team how they move ahead and what was said to be impossible was done. Right? And the sequence is such that the success was not the first one. So I'll take you to Himalayas now. From Nagpur heat, let's move there. And I'm showing you a map because let me make you understand, millennials. Knowing geography is equally important as it is important to know the technicalities of a thing, machine. A lot of people know a lot now because after post Galwan, you all started knowing this area. But there is some peculiarity of this. You know, this is very strategically important place. Why? Because 5 cultures meet here. 5 countries meet here, that is one. But 5 cultures meet here, which is nowhere in the world. So it's a convergence of culture. To know a strategic importance, you have to know the background history. Indian, Chinese, Persian, Arab and Central Asia. 5 cultures meet here. There is no other rich place in cultural thing than India. That is why you should be proud about it and that is why I am showing it here. So, narrowing down from and that region which I am talking about is known as roof of the world. That is the highest point. You are watching from the top where these 5 cultures meet. And there was a Silk Route long back when you guys are all those Google types. We are not in front, we know that. That Silk Route used to go from Constantinople till China. And that used to pass through this region. That is also a very important strategic reason for this place to be coming. And now we are talking about Akhanda Bharat. A lot of people must have heard. If you want to do that, then this region is very important now. Just keep this in mind. So this is a place, Jammu and Kashmir, where it is written China below that. Watch Saksham Valley is written. It is our land occupied by POK. If you come to the south of that, there is a red spot I have made. That is the airfield at 16,700 feet. As we go ahead, we'll talk more about that, but geography has to be known to you, so I have displayed this tag. Now, all you youngsters are very, very adventurous. You want to get into very new things, sometimes very funny things, jumping from a building and things like that. Isn't it? For us, we don't have to do such foolish things. For us, in defense forces, the life itself is adventure. So, this is a story of a Fauji. But let me tell you, I have not come here to advertise Fauj at all. Fauj gets many people. This is all wrong things which have been spread. Okay? But even if you listen to me today, even if you are corporate or so-called big firms, IT firms, things like that, what I'm going to speak is going to help you. That spark, the X factor, along with your academics, is a very important aspect. And how to gain that is what is the story all about. So life and adventure. Let's move to the adventure. All must have heard about this. It is very good to hear about it sitting in an air-conditioned room. But when you go there, you realize things are pretty tough. Okay, how much tough? As we move on, we will see those. There is something known as avalanches which do come. This is a photograph taken by a flyer only when he was crossing by, and it happened. It has happened beyond Siachen Glacier, somewhere near Pakistan border. This is the life of Jawan there. Why I am talking about army Jawan is because what I have did or what I have done or whatever I did previously is all because what they did on ground. The preparation of the airfield is a very important aspect, and only Indian Army soldiers can do it. Why? We will know very soon. So this is how they walked there, knee deep, snow, and they are tied to each other with a rope. Why? And that is known as, this chain is known as, a very, very important aspect is because there are a lot of crevasses and bottomless crevasses. You cannot take out. So if the front guy goes into a crevasse, at least he is tied up with a rope to the next guy, he can be pulled down. So every step, each step they take is with danger. That is what I am saying. Now the places we are going to talk about are places which are not connected by rail, road, bus, nothing. So how they survive? Air Force Base in Chandigarh is their lifeline. There is a bridge, aerial bridge. So many aircraft go there every day. Either we drop load for them or we land at Leh and Toys and give the daily ration, ammunition, everything is given. Now this is a very, very peculiar thing. None of you will be knowing. A kerosene is liquid gold in that area. Why? Because their life depends on this. Early morning duties they have to do. So they have to pour kerosene there, otherwise the thing will freeze. So they can't use it. The heat which they require, kerosene is burned. And they are sitting at hilltops where there is no road, no railway line. How do we give them this kerosene? We put this kerosene drums on the platform. In the aircraft, we open the back door, put a parachute on this, and throw it out. It goes and lands exactly there, and they collect it. That is how the life, tough life it is, and that is what made me land there. Helicopters also do a human service in small places. These are the kerosene jerry cans they have found. There is a phenomena which is known as whiteout. You know, when it snows, everything below is white. सारा सफेद हो जाता है. And if there is a clouding, then again on the top also it is white. So flying oriented, technically oriented people need to understand that when you get into such situation, the situation known as whiteout, and you don't have reference, horizon is not there. So you only on instruments can make out, otherwise your aircraft could be inverted. But you won't know it is inverted. Because above also white, below also white. So flyers also are not a very challenging task in this area. That is why I have just touched upon this. So the story starts, which is of courage, conviction, and also story of commitment. Now, when I'm talking about courage and I'm talking to the youngsters, let me tell you courage ka definition. Courage is not foolhardiness. Courage is not recklessness. ये बिल्डिंग के ऊपर जाके कूद जाओ, that is not courage. Courage is the planned activity. Courage is required because you have to have a plan B available when you want to be courageous. Recklessness doesn't work. So courage, conviction, and commitment, most important aspects of life. Taking you to 1999, what happened? Kargil War, right? During Kargil War, the Kargil airfield was not available. And Kargil looks like this it is snowbound. It is very close to Pakistan border, so much that if they fire artillery guns, it can hit the aircraft. It's so close by. So Kargil airfield was not available in 1999. So when I got posted to Chandigarh in 2001, I was given a task to bring up this airfield. Some repairs were done by army. Vitamin was laid. Then I went and did some practices there. If an aircraft is coming from Delhi to Nagpur, he doesn't have to see the airfield. He can come on instruments. That is not so in Himalaya. There are no instruments and airfields are surrounded by very huge mountains. Huge means 23,000, 24,000. So it's kind of a bowl. And the base of the bowl is airfield. So मौत का कुआं अपने बाइक चलाता है something like that. You have to enter that and land. And if engine fails, if something goes wrong, you cannot come out of it. That is the issue. So Kargil airfield is like that. I did the trial landing in somewhere in 2002, and thereafter I was going back in Feb 2002. So we were going along, and what happened is when I started turning towards Kargil airfield, I heard a thud. Thud is bang, some huge noise comes, and my right engine was on fire. This aircraft is two-engine aircraft, please remember. Right engine was on fire. When engine is on fire, the aircraft cannot maintain height. Okay, it has to come down because two engines it can maintain at 25,000. With single engine, it will be coming down. It is known as drift down altitude. All engineers, you can calculate. It is a very easy thing. What is the horsepower for each engine? -1, then you will know how much will be the aircraft coming down. So in short, in hills, having this engine failure is a dangerous phenomenon. So there was a fire. So quickly, all fire warnings were on, everything was on. I switched off the engine and feathered it. Feathering is reducing the drag basically. So that on one engine, the aircraft can maintain. Turned towards Kargil and flew for 31 minutes and brought this crippled aircraft to day. This is first ever engine failure of anybody in the history of Indian Air Force and civil flying in that sector. Okay. Flying after 31 when we came down to Leh, all the while in the air we were thinking some bird has been sucked in the engine. But when we landed on the ground, what we saw is what I showed you. There was a hole in the engine. And where from the other side looked like this. So actually what had happened is when we were turning towards Kargil, the Pakis fired a missile. and that missile went through the engine. Okay. Now Pakistan fired it. Their upper story is slightly dim. So the angle at which they fired, something went wrong. I'll show you, explain the engineers. It's better you know this. This is the angle in which it went. If this was the angle, then the entire right wing would have come out. If this was the angle, then the people, fuselage they say, where people sit, that would have gone and all we would have been in ground, and today I am only speaking to you. But that has not happened. So fine, don't get serious. Okay. So this is how it came out. Now there are three fuses in this missile and I will show you which is the missile. This is the missile. There are three fuses. Number one is known as heat seeking fuse. Wherever this missile is heat seeking, so wherever it comes towards the exhaust, it touches the heat and explodes. If that doesn't happen, then there is something known as impact fuse. When it hits the aircraft, it explodes. In my case, both the things fuse failed. Why? Because the angle at which they fired was wrong. Okay, and it went like a projectile. You understand projectile? Sheer kinetic energy it went. But ruptured all the fuel lines, ruptured all the oil lines. There was wing on the entire right wing. We are trained for taking actions in this, and as I said, this was first in that area. So this is what happened to the aircraft. Aircraft was brought back, and let me tell you, my boss of that area, the air marshal then, I was a wing commander, he was the air marshal, was on board. So I saved the air marshal, saved another Kargil part 2. Because if the air marshal had gone down, then there would have been definitely retaliation, as you know. Right. So this is the, and thereafter in an organization, don't think in defense there are no inquiries and all everything. So a lot of things happened. Who was to be blamed, who was not to be blamed, but this is not the forum we should talk about it. Somebody who is interested can read my book or read 2002, Google Suryakant Paper 2002 and the whole thing will come. Right? So we'll leave that. But what I want to tell you, this can be considered as a failure. Mistake may not be mine, but I saved the aircraft. So it cannot be completely what a failure, but it was a low point in my career and as a wing commander. Right? A lot of people suggested me go in civil airlines. That time civil airlines pay was 3 lakhs per month. Right? I didn't join Bosch to come out. I said no, I'll stay back. I have done no mistakes, so we'll continue. And I continued and retired as an air marshal. Right? So how it happened? It happened this way. I believe, and you should start believing from today, that destiny is not a matter of chance. मेरा नसीब ही ऐसा है, कुछ होता ही नहीं है, मैं करता ही नहीं. No, you are not making the right choices. Okay, I made the choice of staying back in Indian Air Force, even I was at the lowest point of my career, and I retired as Air Marshal. Lot of people give my example. In Indian Air Force, Army and Navy, that yes, this can also happen. So I am telling you, as a youngster only, चलो नहीं एक आध बहुत थोड़ा बहुत धक्का इधर उधर लग गया, थोड़ा लोटी हो गया, so what? Live your life. Make right choices. You said, how do I know that is the right choice? Exactly, I also didn't know that kicking off that civil airline 3 lakh package was the right choice. Did I know then? No. But what your inner self tells you, based on your decision making capabilities, you decide and make right choices and you will never fail. Now we come to another story. Why I always tell failure first is because we are very scared about failures. We don't want to talk about failures. We want to hide them under the carpet. Okay? You mad people like me do talk about failures first and then talk about what happened later. Right? Learn something from that also. There is nothing wrong to say, yes, I did a mistake. I didn't do a mistake here. The story is different. But yes, I was the captain of the aircraft, so responsibility was mine. Okay? And I accepted it. Right? So now I take you to that red dot I had shown, remember? On J&K map. In this region, everything is done by air. In Himalayan region, you don't have landing grounds available. Flat जगह होती नहीं है. पहाड़ थोड़ी सी जगह होती है उसमें छोटा सा एयरफील्ड बना देते हैं. एयरफील्ड भी नागपुर जैसे नहीं होता, विटामिन कच्चा. Okay, and you are all technical people, so we will come to technicalities. क्यों डिफिकल्ट है वहां 16,700 फुट पे जहाज उतारना क्यों? तो विल टेक डीबीओ एज एन एग्जांपल. डीबीओ में लैंड करने के पहले उस रीजन में दो ही एयरफील्ड थी. ले हॉइस, यू कैन सी टू द लेफ्ट ऑफ द रिवर, ये नुब्रा रिवर है ना, हॉइस ले. डीबीओ में मैं लैंड किया, वो ऊपर है. दिस इज नियर चाइना बॉर्डर. एंड देयर आफ्टर और दो एयरफील्ड मैंने शुरू करी. एक है पुपचे विच इज इन द दिस इज साउथ ईस्ट ऑफ गलवान, very strategically important. And another Neoma. From Indus Valley, one valley goes via Neoma which goes to Leh. So Chinese को यदि कभी आना है Leh की तरफ, क्योंकि that area only Leh is important. So we thought we should have an airfield in between to stop them, and I created this airfield. Thereafter, the story of that I won't be able to tell you because it will go very long. So we will look into DBO. So concentrate on DBO. What is DBO? Daulat Beg Oldie. स्टोरी क्या है? सिल्क रूट. उन दिनों में सारे बिजनेसमैन वहीं से जाते थे. एंड द करेंसी वाज हीरे, गोल्ड, जवाहरात, सब कुछ. तो एक दौलत बेग ओल्डी नाम का आदमी यहाँ से जा रहा था और स्टॉर्म आया. उसके बाद काफी वो उस वक्त का नीरज मोदी था. ठीक है, काफी माल था उसके पास. तो कहते हैं वहां उसने कहीं छुपा रखा है. मैं बहुत बार गया हूँ, मुझे मिला नहीं. आप लोग चाह ही नहीं सकते हो तो आपको मिलेगा. तो पैसे की तरफ ध्यान हटा के हम क्या हो रहा है उसके देखते हैं. तो दैट इज द फोकलोर. यहाँ चाइनीज ने बड़े रोड वोड बना रखे हैं परली तरफ. हमने कुछ नहीं किया. क्यों नहीं किया? बिकॉज 1962 डिफीट का जो घोस्ट होता है, भूत पिशाच अपने इंडियंस के कुंडी पे बैठा हुआ. हम कुछ करना ही नहीं चाहते थे डेवलपमेंट का. दैट इज व्हाई माय एक्टिविटी इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट. बट मेरी एक्टिविटी इंपॉर्टेंट है. देश को पता चली. मैंने लैंडिंग यहाँ किया 2008 को. शौर्य चक्र वगैरह मिला, बट मैं रिटायर हो गया. और इंडिया को पता चला दौलत बेग ओल्डी इंपॉर्टेंट है 2020 में. कैसे? when Chinese moved their soldiers to Galwan, we had to pump in soldiers quickly. If Daulat Beg Oldie was not there, we would have to land at Leh. From Leh, it takes 15 days to reach Galwan. So that is the time Hercules landed there, and rest story you know well. Okay, that is the importance of DBO. Silk route I have told you, so I'll skip this. And now we come to DBO. From DBO, Karakoram Pass is 13 kilometers as the birds fly. सामने दिखता है. ये जो रेड लाइन है, ये है लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल. कितने को पता है व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल एंड लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल? काफी कम को पता होगा. So we will not waste time. I will go ahead. Line of actual control is not what you perceive, चाइना को लगता है ये तो वो, इंडिया को लगता है ये तो वो। इसीलिए आपका वो एक अपोजिशन का लीडर पिछले काफी बात करता रहता है, मेरा मन करता है कभी कभी मैं जाके उसको एक्सप्लेन करूँ एलएसी क्या है, फिर वो ऐसे डिस्कशन कम हो जाएगी। दैट इज व्हाई आई एक्सप्लेन यू एलएसी। So LAC is a fluid line and there are buffer zones in between. Sometimes they come to guard, check, ठीक है ना, how we go, there is no. Whereas LOC, line of control, which we have with Pakistan, is a fixed line. You can't go, they can't come, nothing. And international border, IB, is a internationally recognized border. These are three terms. तो ये LAC है, तो मैं जहां लैंड किया है, LAC इज जस्ट 2 किलोमीटर फ्रॉम हियर। चाइनीज यहां से देखते थे पहाड़ी ऐसे कि ये करता क्या रहता है, क्योंकि वहां हम पहले सिर्फ ड्रॉप करते थे। ड्रॉप के लिए जहाज का अंडर कैरेज डाउन नहीं करना पड़ता, सिर्फ जहाज का पीछा दरवाजा खोल के लोड चला जाता है। बट व्हेन आई वांटेड टू लैंड देयर आई हैड टू प्रैक्टिस, बिकॉज विद अंडर कैरेज डाउन द ड्रैग increases. So I wanted to try out. So they came to know there was a lot of discussion among themselves on their internet. But in India, hardly anybody knew that I am trying something like this. ये सारी चीजें आपने अभी न्यूज में बड़ी पड़ी होगी। देवसांग, राकीना, सियाचन, इंदस, लद्दाख, चुशूल, चुशूल के इधर एक लेक है पेंगांग सो, ओके, और उसके थोड़ा नॉर्थ ईस्ट में चलवान। So you know this area, that is why I given you a little bit of. Now we come to some scientific terms. This Dawlat Beg Oldie is the highest airfield in the world. It is at 16,700. So what? Nagpur is something 2,000. Who is flown here? What is the elevation? Okay, we will take roughly 2,000, right? Bangalore is around 3,000. So I am talking about 16,700 feet. Temperatures there are minus 48. I said no road, no railway line. So how do you build the runway? So no bitumen, no raw material, no cement, so no runway. Then whatever little bit plain area is there, रोड रोलर चला है हमारे आर्मी वालों। अब रोड रोलर कैसे पहुंचे वहां? हेलीकॉप्टर 100 केजी या 200 केजी कैरी कर सकते हैं बस। मेरा जहाज ज्यादा कर सकता है, इसलिए ले जा रहा था। तो उन्होंने एयर से रोड रोलर का वो वेट ड्रॉप कर दिया। आर्मी जवान ने रोड रोलर को लकड़ी का ये लगा के अपने कंधे पे खींच खींच के वो एयरफील्ड को। टेम्परेचर क्या है? -48। ऑक्सीजन कितना कम है? -45% लेस ऑक्सीजन। मैं वहां जब चेकिंग करने जाता था ग्राउंड, 3 कदम फास्ट चलूं तो अनकॉन्शियस। वहां आर्मी जवान बिना ऑक्सीजन के रोड रोलर चलाते थे। दैट इज व्हाट इंडियन सोल्जर्स आर ऑल अबाउट। Now we will come to the engine part. Mechanical engineers, how many? Very few. Anyway, engineers basically will know the engine part. As you keep going up, the atmosphere is rarefied. क्लास ले रहा हूं ऐसे तो नहीं लग रहा है। Does that mean that oxygen reduces? No. Cubic meter में available oxygen reduces. Partial pressure remains same. Engine requires what? Oxygen, fuel, and starting current. Right? तो दोनों है, fuel है, starting current है, oxygen नहीं है. So there is no aircraft in the world which can start above 13,700 if engine is switched off. And how do you take the aircraft at 16,700? We decided not to switch off the aircraft, take chance, because it is a military objective, military action. Okay, that is how we went there. High landing speeds. You understand true airspeed and indicated airspeed? जितना ऊपर जाओगे रेडिफाइड एटमॉस्फेयर में थोड़ा इजी करके बताता हूँ नागपुर में मैं लैंड कर रहा हूँ तो मेरी लैंडिंग स्पीड होती है 210 वहां यदि लैंड करूंगा तो स्पीड होगी 280 so that much higher speed we have to take high mountain ranges I explained you hills all around beach में airfield so when you enter you cannot come out if engine fails that was the danger and rarefied atmosphere the aircraft maneuvering is difficult you understand the control surfaces the air which is hitting it is different or dust is another issue which creates problem. Have a look. This is how the airfield looks. That is Karakoram Park. This is airfield. This is this Kacha airfield. Chinese sit here and watch what I am doing here. They don't want. 45 years nobody has gone there. So they didn't want us to do, but we had made the decision to do it. So unless तुम youngsters को ना थोड़ा वीडियो ना दिखा जाए because of मोबाइल आजकल इधर की एक लाइन पूरी गायब हो गई they don't know what important things they missed this is how you miss chances in life now watch this I have made when as a training film to teach people how to land this is sunrise in mountain all peaks go golden कितने भी पैसे दो ऐसे दिन ऐसा नहीं वो राइट में बैठा हूँ मैं वो इंस्ट्रक्टर सिट ऑन द राइट the chap who is learning sits on the left that is the normal information इसको पायलट बनना है There was an aircraft position from the top to see Chinese कुछ गड़बड़ करते नहीं है तो उसमें फोटो दी. See, it will throw dust because it is kacha. To the left, there is a drop of 500 feet. So you can't go to the left. You have to maintain on center line. Center line draw करने के लिए paint नहीं जाता वहाँ. चुना से किया. So it is all temporary kind of thing. From the ground, there was somebody on the ground also. See how Indian Army people are happy because now they travel from DBO to Leh in 20 minutes. Earlier they used to take 15 days. Walking. That is important. And see this photograph. This is about takeoff. Because the power is open full, the dust is like this behind the aircraft, luckily, and 10 to 15 minutes it remains like this. So dust, small stones coming up, hitting the prop, these were all the problems which were there other than what I have already told you. Now there is a story behind this photograph, a very funny one. When I decided to land this aircraft, we have something known as OEM, Original Equipment Manufacturer. This chap is a Russian. Antonov AN-32 is the name of the aircraft. So we asked them, if you want to take this aircraft at 16.7, can we? You are all engineers, for everything there are graphs made. The ideal situation is at sea level. Temperature, pressure, humidity, all elevation, everything. And as you keep going up, the thing deteriorates. The graphs of this aircraft end at 13,500 as I told you, for landing aircraft. So now how do we do this? Was a question with my engineers, as a pilot with me, all. So we said, let's extrapolate the graph. Now you are all academicians. Extrapolation, you don't know where it will go. Will it go up? Will it flatten? You are doing extrapolation. So what are the parameters at sea level? You are using them and trying. So that was the issue. But we maintain a lot of flight safety parameters. So my engineers worked phenomenally hard and selected best of the AN-32 level because if the aircraft had gone unserviceable, then we would have to leave it there. And we would have been brought back by helicopters, one at a time. So the helicopter came and got back. So I was telling you story of this picture. So AN-32 people said, no, we are not clearing, you don't do. But when I did this and this photograph was published, they requested Indian government to give this photograph for their advertisement to sell their aircraft. So what a original equipment manufacturer says no. As engineers, please understand that is not end of life. You can always think much harder, but for that you will have to do much work. The engine gondola used to shake because it was engineers did senior technical officers did phenomenal job, and the air warrior, the airman which worked under. In these conditions, if you touch the skin of the aircraft, your skin remains there only. You have to keep wearing gloves. In such conditions, they work, but they work like this, and so such things are possible. This is known story. Now, I did this activity in 2008. Thereafter, there was little bit of awakening in the government side also. There are a lot of stories floating around. But Air Marshal Borbora was my boss. Because he approved my landing, what I could do. Because I was at the lower level, I was not. So I did this activity as a tactical plan. But it worked out to be a strategic achievement. So in life, even if you do small things, don't think it is small. Just do it. You will realize you have done something great for the nation. A person like you, who was sitting there 40 years back, when he went up in his career after the law, he could do a thing which is strategically important for a country. So anything is possible. Not only degrees make you do that, make choices. That is why I said make choices. Right choices and destiny will march you towards the success. That is all. Now the government has started building the road and it has almost reached till DPO. So hopefully my lifetime that airfield will get pakka. And if it gets pakka, they will take me there for cutting the river for sure. Okay. So I hope in my lifetime it happens. 2008. This is 2022. Nothing has happened. Okay. It is not an easy thing. So don't keep waiting कि जब runway बनेगा मैं देखूंगा. What is available to? That is all. It was done. Okay. This is that new road which has come up from Leh to short of DPU. To 2020, this is the Hercules aircraft which landed and dropped our troops there. Okay. When I was boss of Transport Fleet Air Headquarters, they read out. So I sent this boy there because they have got simulators. I sat with him on the simulator and told him what are difficulties come. You know, when you land at higher speed, the tire rotation speed exceeds the limit. You understand what will happen? The hub will remain there and only the top tire will keep rotating. What will happen? The aircraft will remain there only. So that is known as tire limiting speed. So that was taught and this came very handy. Now, because my team was all pumped up, youngsters are good. They have got potential. Only you need to channelize them. I was their CEO, commanding officer. So I channelized those energies. So they said, sir, DPO ho gaya, something more. That is the time we went and landed, created an airfield at Neoma, which is southwest of Tengan Lake, where all the action happened. 23 kilometers from there. And if Chinese think to go to Leh, this is the airfield which will stop. Government has taken a decision, work has started, they are now putting bitumen on this. I landed on the section. This airfield is at 13,500 feet. Next we went to Indus Valley, southeast of Galwan. Okay, and that Sang is there, where always Chinese keep creating problems. If the problem happens, this. A very funny story of this, the west bank of this Indus River is China. East bank is India. And this is just next to the bank. You can see the river. This is just next to the bank. So when I was landing, entire Chinese army troops were standing on the western side to watch whether actually we are doing or we are just faking. Okay. The two previous landings, the DBO, government and all, we didn't go only. Army prepared the airfield, Air Force cleared it, I went and landed. For this, we had to take permission because it was very close to the LAC. Thereafter, I landed in 8. Thereafter, nobody has landed, but we know that we can land there. So, if you get a leader who is good, my leader was Air Marshal Borbora, he approved. 45 years, nobody was ready to approve it. Then I was there, then my team below, my technicians, my this thing. We reconstructed, rebuilt 3 airfields and made them operational. Commonly, all unpaved surface, सारे कच्चे, high altitude, 14,500, 13,500, 16,700. Surrounded by mountains, so difficulty in maneuvering aircraft and all those things which I told you, and closer to LAC होना चाहिए, LOC नहीं. This is Chinese. So there was a chance. एक मिसाइल मैंने ले लिया था और आने के चांस थे, but हुआ नहीं. So you have to keep moving forward. For that, what is required to be. Now, those who are interested? Okay, this story is too long. So it is in this book and written in Marathi, Mathrubhashat लिहिलाय माझ्या. Okay, and this has got those awards and all because it is a true story. And in English it is Shades of Blue. No compulsion of buying. I'm just telling you. Buy the buy. Those interested. That's it from me. I will say Jain with a message which is very, very strong to you in this, that every chap sitting here, boy or a girl, has the potential. Today you don't know that you will reach there, which I also didn't know. And when my accident happened, my chief, Indian Air Force chief, told me, hey, you are captain of the aircraft and this has happened, maybe you will, career profile may not go up. I said, don't worry. Let me, I know, I have honestly told you what has happened. I am going on a path which is with background of honesty. So things will happen good. And I continued going up and retired as a. So failure is not fatal. Get imbibed in that. Number 2, instant success is impossible. If you are getting instant success, means wo tukka hai. Don't be very happy. Okay? 80% people get bogged down because of this tukka success. Otherwise, their potential is good. Okay? Indians have got good brains, good potential to learn. They can do phenomenal things. Provided these 2 things which I have told you, there is nothing instant. There is only instant coffee, brew. And that also doesn't taste like filter coffee. Okay, so there is some lacuna in that. So don't go for instant success. Okay? Whether you go join a corporate, or you go abroad, or you are an IT engineer, or you join defense forces, or you are a banker, what I talk today is applicable in each area, each place. Because making choices is possible everywhere. And leadership requires just the decision making, capability to lead from front, courage, conviction, and cooperation. Remember never to take all the credit yourself, because without team effort nothing happens. This exactly is that. Me being leader is being published on my name, however, it is a teamwork of engineers, pilots, navigators, all of them. I have finished. I'll take on any number of questions. The subjects you guys have given me, 3 subjects, each are of 1.5 to 2 hours. It is impossible, only first one I have covered. Rest we will see later. Questions? You are most welcome. The principal sir had some questions. The road is almost complete, but you should realize the roads there have got an issue. Even if you have road, 6 months they are closed. From October till Feb almost. Because of snowing, avalanches, landslides. So the lifeline of that place for 6 months is definitely only aircraft. But when if roads are there, during better weather time, you can dump the material there and start it.
What is the length of
that is go through a lot of hills and things like that, and it is almost 385 or something. It is a phenomenal job, and let me tell you, the average height at which it passes is 16,000 feet. 16,000 पे road banana is not a joke. PRO people are doing it. It's a phenomenal job, and they've created a new road. So it is very, very. Uh,
Actually, I personally visited that layer and I went to Khadaru Passage. Yeah. And it is said to be a highest peak, I don't know.
Khardungla Pass is highest.
Yeah.
When I said I did this landing in 2008 and told the engineers, I had visited DRDO and explained them I require a ground equipment. I used to land at DBO but not switch off the engine. But by chance the engine is switched off. Now you can't bring back the aircraft. So I had requested them to do some work, and young engineering minds can think about it, to give some ground equipment which can give additional oxygen at the time of start. If that much happens, current is available, ground equipment gives the current, fuel is available, that desired amount of oxygen, if it is pumped in that time, the engine will start. For that, we will have to create a thing. I write for Science India magazine, which is seen almost monthly by our Prime Minister. He is very interested in that magazine. So the message I had reached, I had written an article, challenge for scientists, do something like that. Thereafter, the DRDO people have spoken to me. They have taken one jet engine to Khardungla. Khardungla is higher than DBO. And they were successful in starting that jet engine. Chota, we call it APU, auxiliary power unit. They have taken there and there. But starting a turboprop is an issue. So they are trying. So this is 2008. We are trying. This is 22. So for engineers, there are many things more which can be done. There is no end to choices. That is why I mentioned.
This dust problem is very profound.
Dust problem creates a lot of issue for a aero engine. Number one, dust, as you know, if whatever is sucked in to intake, it may create problem. The plus point of A32 is engines are high, and the propeller still gets at times stone hits, small little pebbles hit. So you get nicks. You have to grind and make them okay, because aerodynamically things have to be very good. So for my engineers, it was a challenge. For me as a pilot, yes, it was. I had to practice at the base, how high speed landing, all that. But for engineers also, it was equally a difficult task if they achieved. No. We Indian Air Force has got.
We are people also there.
No. Indian Air Force has got an exclusive people for each type of aircraft. Even a chap working on A32 can't go work on MiG-21. We have specialized people for specialized.
But for preparing the airfield, whether this BRO
Army. BRO is not there. That BPO is not 4 seconds there. Only ITBP and a small element of army people are there. And hats off to them, because when I have to land there, I never used to switch off engine. The dust I already told you. The load we used to carry 4 tons. They used to unload the aircraft in 20 minutes. Noise, dust, lack of oxygen. But Army Jawans are, Indian Army Jawans are super. They used to do in 20 minutes.
is a high risk while landing and
Definitely. But life is like that. You have to keep selecting higher things and things happen. Because 45 years nobody thought, but it was possible. In 2008 it was achieved. So think big, think out of box, but not foolhardiness. Courage means it has to have a scientific backing to the whole thing, especially for engineers. Your courage is not like anybody adventure guy. No, Your courage is going to put others' life also in trouble. Your courageous has to have a back heart, which is proven and then you put it. Yes.
Much more I have when I did my MTech now, I selected in BRO in services.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking.
Sir, the information you gave was truly insightful and thought-provoking. Sir, sir, the video you showed of how you landed in such a critical situation was really mesmerizing. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience.
So I have got some queries from our participants as well,
Yeah.
and we'd like to ask you. I request you to please guide the student by answering the question. The very first question is: since most of our audience aspires to become an Indian Armed Forces officer, so what are the most important things we can implement?
There is a misnomer that you have to be very muscular, well-built, tall guy and all. For pilots, this all is not required. Okay? A 5 feet 5 inches chap can fly an aircraft, which is Airbus 320. Okay, because you are not flying with physical forces. They are hydroelectrically or electrically or electronically being the surface are moved. So you are not feeling the pressure. But being physically fit is important because of the lack of oxygen, the pressure reduction as you go up. So if you want to, you are a defense aspirant, then remaining physically fit by some activity like sports, indulging daily in some routine exercise is enough. There is nothing extraordinary required. You should be fit enough for your age. If you are a 20-year-old boy or girl, you should be able to do what a 20-year is supposed to do. That is all physical fitness requirement.
So much, sir. My next question is: you are an SSB guider. So what are the important factors to crack SSB? You are okay. Can you please share?
Yeah. Now this SSB is a very vast subject, as I told you. Okay, when I guide people, it is for 1 month. But I'll just give you a glimpse about SSB. Why they say it is different than getting selected for any other job. You may be very intelligent, you may be very good at other personality traits which are desired. However, defense forces require a person, a girl or a boy with specific traits. Honesty, integrity, courage, conviction, decision making are few. Now, to get the right candidate, they have designed a wonderful system known as Service Selection Board. It's a 5-day interview in which three types of people judge you. One is interviewing officer who talks to you, interviews you, speaks to you, and finds out whether you have those desired traits which are required for defense forces. Number two is the psychologist. He gives you few exercises, and through those exercises he finds out whether you have those traits or not. Number three is the group testing officer. Now what they do is you are going to be a leader. The day you are a second lieutenant or a lieutenant or a flight lieutenant, 30 to 40 men come under you straight away. It is not like that in any other job. Therefore, in a group, how you behave. As an individual, you may be very good. but in a group, how you behave is a very important aspect. So now these three people are checking you for all the traits which are required by their tool, interview, group or psychology. Best part is they don't speak to each other. If a candidate A is there, the psychologist doesn't ask how the candidate A is done with you. No. Only on the final day, when the candidate is called inside, they read out their results. So it is very, very scientifically proven thing. That is why, as compared to civil, in defense forces, you don't get people, you can say who fail or bad elements. There also there are some, but the percentage is less because the desired traits are must. And the basic traits you require, rest, those traits are polished during training. That is why honesty, integrity, courage, conviction, these are very important aspects of the defense and leadership because you are leading men from day one. My son is MBA. So when he used to study for MBA, I used to go through his books once in a while. And what I found out is was he studying, I have practiced already. That is the story of a defense officer. You don't go academically into it, but when you are put in a responsibility where you have to lead men, HR, famous, that you learn by practice. And each management technique we apply in our own way. And so this is the crux of SSB. And to crack SSB, one should be oneself. That is, be yourself is my advice. Don't try to copy somebody. Just because honesty is a trait written, don't try and tell a lie. The psychologist is trained to find out that you are lying. And there are three people doing this same thing with three different tools. So you can't fool all three. Not possible. It is one of the best systems where there are no reservations, there are no biases. If you have doubt, if you feel I am a FO's officer's son, daughter, I will get to know there are n number of examples. They have tried 4 times, 5 times, not worked out. Because this system has been maintained like that all through. Because security is a serious business. Security of country is a serious business. There, in war, there is only one winner. Okay. Number 2 is of no use. You have to be number 1. So it's a zero error syndrome. For that, you have to take intake has to be same, training has to be same, and that is how one gets.
Thank you so much, sir. You really gave a glimpse of SSB, and thank you. I would like to say thank you only. You might have seen so many young cadets becoming officers. So I want to ask you, what is the difference that you notice in the mentality of cadets before training and after the training?
I told you, basics are required. Those traits which I read out and told you, basic you have to have. Now, personality is developed by the influence of environment in which you are brought. There are three things for personality. One is character. I am a firm believer, and it is fact of life, that character is built at home. Your parents, your teachers. Number 2 is personality. In personality, there are 2 types. One is acquired skills, acquired traits, and one is hereditary. What is hereditary? The way you look. Can you change that? No. And why you want to change that? Because your looks don't get you into any job. Okay. इंटेलिजेंस माँ बाप का जितना IQ लेवल है उसके आसपास ही रहेगा. एक आदि आइंस्टाइन पैदा होता है ना बिल्कुल दूसरे से. But what is in your hand is tweaking that intelligence, learning more, adding knowledge, bringing up, polishing it. So in SSB, basically teach people acquired skill. And communication is the topmost of it. Communication, if you can learn at this stage, which field you join is immaterial. You will be successful in that particular field based on this. Very, very important to have good communication skills. Decision making, other things, leadership, do there. But acquired skill, communication is very important. Language, no barrier, but communication is very
Sir, the next question we have received is, if there is any technical failure in the aircraft, what is the mentality of the pilot at that moment and how does he handle the situation?
It's question of life and death. In pilot training, the emergencies which are critical, like fire, pressurization failure, then uh, other critical emergencies, you are taught so much that if you are woken up from the sleep and told, right engine fire action, you will blurt it out. Number one. Number two, when you are in the cockpit, you have to keep all worries of day-to-day life outside the cockpit and concentrate on that. Remember, you can be flying a particular aircraft, but flying on day one today, flying on day two tomorrow. Every day flying is different because the environment in which you are flying is different. The weather may change, there may be clouds one day, the temperatures may be varying, you may be going from -50 to +50. The things change. So you are always prepared for an eventuality. In aircraft, you are never relaxed. Though you are on a long distance flight, you are relaxed. But if something comes up, you can react. They are known as react emergencies. Engine fire is one of them. So I will tell you my story which I told you. The right engine fire warning comes on. When the fire warning comes on, the situation itself is very tense. All the cockpit lights start blinking. Red lights start blinking, right engine on fire, right wing on fire, they start blinking. There is an audio noise, engine fire, and the tone keeps increasing if you don't do action. Plus, you are losing height. In the hills, you can't lose height, so you have to somehow maintain on the other engine. So, in this situation, also keeping your peace of mind, balance of thinking is very important. Situational awareness is one of the phenomenal things required for pilot and taking help of the other crew. Crew resource management. I was talking about management. There is one more element for pilot, crew resource management. How best you use other people who are available to you in the cockpit. These are three. That is how you prepare to be a pilot or to be a ground soldier. You are put into action. Now decision making is yours. You can't turn back and ask him, they are coming from here, they are firing so and so capital. No. You are the leader, you take action. And you are not aware when you are making choices that they are going to be successful. But you have to make the choices. That is how it is.
Thank you, sir. I would like to ask. I'd like to ask in the audience if they have any queries. Please raise your hand.
Saying sir, do you think the light utility helicopter developed by DRDO and the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, do you think it will be soon operational in the DOB area and the other important strategically important places?
Yeah. The issue here is about aircraft. Indian geography is a very complex thing. You know, if you want to buy a cow, who gives you milk? If you go and say, I want a cow which is white, has a black telomere, one dot, the horns should be twisted like this, should give 24 liters of milk per day, okay, and should be cheap. Will you get one? इंडिया का प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. You have -50 at Hoy's Lake. You have +50 in desert. You have coastal region में corrosion. You have somewhere very short airfield, somewhere very large airfield. One aircraft for all this. You are engineer, if you can make one, I will be very happy. But my knowledge goes, it is not possible. Okay. So, the AN-32 which I have shown you is one of the transport aircraft which almost could do everything because they change few things on that. This is AN-26 model, original. They lifted the engine on the top. With that, what happens? On short field, it can take off. Okay, but if you lift the engine, then the aerodynamics goes back. So they put wings on the top of the field, and so forth. So one aircraft, one helicopter made can be used everywhere is a very question which cannot be answered. How they make it? In everything, one aircraft you can't put because you want to do something, the weight increases. Weight increases, the performance goes down. The matching engine is required. There have been aircraft, Bharat aircraft, the airframe was very good, which was indigenous, first made aircraft in India. But the engine didn't match because it was too heavy. So it dropped. So, in aviation field, engineering is a challenge of many things, balancing act of many things. So you just don't go for a fixed one thing. It may.
Another question is
Sir, what is NCA and what are its advantages over other fighters? What is NCA? Light combat aircraft.
Yeah, it is any other combat aircraft is fighter
I
aircraft.
mean, what are its advantages over other fighters?
It is fourth generation aircraft. It is got armament which is better. The engine is important. You please understand one thing in aviation, whatever we say Atmanirbhar and all, you can never in your life make everything of an aircraft fully indigenous. Not possible. Because commercially it is not viable. If you make an aircraft, then you have to sell it to others. To sell, the quality has to be good. You don't make aircraft only for your country. So LCA we have made, the engine is imported. The avionics is from here. The airframe we made. The armaments which are fitted are being imported. So it's always mix and match. How much percent is indigenous and how much it is other is what is the question. So in Tejas, it is around 70-30 or 65-35. Okay. So we should be proud that one indigenous aircraft has been made and it is at par to almost all fourth generation aircraft. Avionics is good, armament is good, the airframe and engine match. We have version for Navy also, so it can land on the aircraft carrier. So that way it is a good aircraft, but the man behind the machine that matters, and Indian pilots are one of the best in the world, I can tell you. Not because I am a pilot, because in the exercises we go, it is proven in each exercise, whether it is with UK, Russians, Americans, Japanese, it is proven that man behind machine matters. And in that count, we are our biggest advantage. But we being a democracy, if the machines come quickly, then anybody and everybody will like to fly a new brand new machine. But हमारे यहाँ problem क्या है? Bread और arms. तो क्या था पहले? Bread. So arms there. But ideal situation is best aircraft, best pilot. Right now we are doing up with okay aircraft, best pilot.
we are all very curious for asking more questions and hear from you, but we are at a shorter time, so we'll.
That I do. That is my.
The Trishakti stage was inaugurated on the occasion of Kargil Vijay Divas on 23rd July 2019 by Air Vice Marshal V. Senior Air and Administration Staff Officer, Headquarter Maintenance Command, Nagpur. And our vision is to motivate and encourage youth to join Indian Armed Forces.
And the aim is to grab the attention of youth and stir their enthusiasm. Some of our prominent speakers for the event of Trishakti Cell were Captain Dharamveer Singh, Major General Vikram Dogra, Mr. Vasudev Dubey sir, and many more. Our students were curious to know about the activities held in NCC and the process to join the NCC as well. So, to satisfy the queries and develop interest in students, we invited Senior Under Officer Akansha Asnare, 4th Maharashtra Girls Battalion, RDC Camp, DGNCC Commendation, Cadet Captain Nikita Khot, 3rd Maharashtra Naval Unit, Best Cadet Naval Wing, Maharashtra Directorate, Cadet Warrant Officer Prithvi Patil, 1st Maharashtra Air Squadron, All India Best Cadet, Air Wing, RDC 2022, and many more.
Now I request Safekar sir and Principal R.P. Golkar sir to come on stage and hand over appointment letters to our office bearers. Pranav Patle, second year Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, as a student coordinator.
Kashish Budhwani, second year Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, as student coordinator.
Kashish Budhwani, second year Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, as student coordinator. Sakshi Mahajan, third year Electrical Engineering, as advisor.
Sahil Kulekar, second year Computer Science and Engineering, as technical head.
Dovesh Aglave, second year Mechanical Engineering, as technical co-head.
Rishikesh Gaugave, second year Computer Science and Engineering, as event management co-head.
Rohini Shambarkar, second year Computer Science and Engineering, as executive member.
Lakshmi Sakore, second year Electrical Engineering, as executive member.
Bhumika Hedao from second year Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, as content writing lead.
Thank you so much, sir.
You take your seats. Now I request Jigyasa coordinator Dr. Rajashri Raut ma'am to deliver vote of thanks.
Jai Hind. How's the Josh? How's the Josh? Many minds put together, many hands work together to make this Jigyasa event a successful venture. To make this Jigyasa event a successful venture. Here I take this humble task to thank our today's esteemed guest, Air Vice Marshal Suryakant Sapekar sir. Sir, when I went through your journey today, I just pen down few lines. If you permit, I would like to read it out. जिन वादियों को हमने निहारा था, जिन वादियों को हमने निहारा था, उन वादियों की गहराइयों को आपने नापा था, उन वादियों की गहराइयों को आपने नापा था। किससे कहानियां जो हमने सुनी थी, किससे कहानियां जो हमने सुनी थी, आपने वो जी है, आपने वो जी है। प्यार में धोखे से हम घबराते हैं, प्यार में धोखे से हम घबराते हैं। आपने तो यमराज को धोखा दिया है, आपने तो यमराज को धोखा दिया है। और आज हमारे लिए आप खड़े हैं, और आज हमारे लिए आप खड़े हैं। जिंदगी से प्यार करना कुछ सीखा या ना सीखा, इतना तो जरूर सीखा है आज। कुछ सीखा ना सीखा, इतना तो जरूर सीखा है आज। जिंदगी से करना सीख लिया, जिंदगी से प्यार करना सीख लिया। आज हमने झंडे गाड़ना ठान लिया, आज हमने झंडे गाड़ना ठान लिया। So dear students, over the entire talk, what came out is that success is the success that comes without failure may be called as a victory. The success that comes without failure may be called as a victory, but the success that comes after failures creates history. The success that comes after failures creates history. And yes, Tafikar sir has created a history. And we today bow to you, sir, that you have accepted our invitation and you were here to guide us all. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I take this opportunity to thank Honorable Dr. R.P. Borkar sir, our principal, who has always guided us, motivated us, and supported us for this kind of events. I also take this opportunity to thank the Tri Shakti Cell coordinator in her absentia, Ms. Neha Khadse, because she is the person behind the screen who has made this team, and the team has made this day possible. I would like to thank the entire Tri Shakti Cell team, the advisor, Sakshi Mahajan. Just I have the name. The advisor Sakshi Mahajan, advisor Siddhant Patil, the coordinator Pranav Patle, Kashish Budwani, Kunal Rahangadale, Sahil Kuhikar, Dovesh Angole, Rohini Shambarkar, Lakshmi Sakore, Aditya Shinde, Prathamesh Nakde, Chinmay Gadbhande, Sunny Here, Anupul, and many other who have worked to make this day a success. The anchors were flawless and kept the show lively by their lively comments. And to one and all present here, your presence has made this a successful event. So each and every individual who was present here by heart and soul, thank you from my bottom of heart. And I really wish that I see at least a few from here who take up this defense service as their goal and join the defense services. I also thank the key person who was there who was instrumental in allowing us to contact Honorable Safekar sir, the commanding officer of number 2 Maharashtra Air Squadron NCC Nagpur, Wing Commander Manoj Mudliar sir. I express my gratitude in his absentia to him. Because of him, we could contact sir and sir was with us. So thank you once again and Jai Hind, and hope you will definitely do your best in whatever career you choose. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are proud Indians, and today is a magnificent day as we have got a chance to gain immense knowledge from such a great personality. Air Vice Marshal Suryakant Chintaman Chapekar, Ati Vishishta Seva Medal, Shaurya Chakra. On this note, let's all stand up for national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा। जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 जय।
भारत माता की
जय।
भारत माता की
जय।
भारत माता की
जय।
Thank you, everyone. Hereby announce that the program comes to an end. Thank you.